Hello and welcome back to Azure Terraformer. We are knee-deep into our Resiliency Series where we are exploring fault domain and availability zone-based resiliency using Azure Virtual Machines. Last time we looked at loose VMs and then we looked at availability sets. This time we're going to be starting to look at VM scale sets. If you're enjoying this content, please smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps out a lot. And if you really want to help out the channel, consider declaring yourself to the world as an official Azure Terraformer by joining the channel as a member. You'll get a shout out in one of my upcoming videos, and there is an exclusive members only channel in our Discord with nice plush digital couches. But most importantly, you'll be helping me continue to do what I do, and that's teach people how to terraform Azure. So thank you very much if you consider that. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So last time we set up our availability set, and I think this time I'm going to drop in and just find the virtual machine scale set here. We'll just call this scale. There we go. So we want a Linux virtual machine scale set, and ooh, this could be tricky because like when you use scale sets, now I think the way that I'm going to be doing it today, I may not have to use this, but there's two modes of using a scale set. Like you can have the scale set provision the VMs on your behalf, which is the way you should probably do it. And then there's what I'm going to do today is try and attach my VMs to an existing scale set. So when you provision the VMs using the scale set dynamically, you need to use virtual machine scale set extensions, which there's equivalent extensions for VM and VM scale set. But in my case, I'm actually provisioning VMs and VM extensions, and then I'm just attaching those VMs to my scale set. So we're going to see how that works. Now, I inadvertently stumbled upon an interesting factoid. Just like the vanilla Azure Virtual Machine has been deprecated in lieu of the Windows and Linux variants of it, there is a deprecated generic vanilla, whatever you want to call it, virtual machine scale set. And I accidentally clicked on it. So that's a good call out. We don't want to be doing that. So I'm going to go click the Linux virtual machine scale set, and we're going to be having a good time. Now, it is interesting that this is not the only scale set resource that Azure has. Besides the one that was deprecated, there's actually another one that uses a different orchestration mode called flexible orchestration mode. Not exactly sure about all the history about why the different orchestration mode caused like the creation of a new resource rather than an attribute on an existing one. I can only presume it must be because of some major significant structural difference where people would not be switching back and forth between the two orchestration modes. So today I'm actually not going to use the uniform orchestration mode. I'm going to use the flex orchestration mode. So I'm going to jump in to this resource over here, and we're going to use this guy. So I'm going to grab this resource. Actually, let me just see. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to grab this resource and I'm going to throw this in here. Change the names to protect the innocent. Now, here is where we have to make a choice. So do we want our VM scale set to use platform fault domains or fault domain based resiliency, or do we want it to use zones? So I think I'm going to tell it. So when you want it to use zones, you have to set the platform fault domain count to 1, and then you have to set the zones attribute. But if you set the platform fault domain count to something greater than 1, let's go look at that. Yeah. The number of fault domains, doesn't actually say that, but I'm pretty sure I know this to be true. So let's just set this to 5, and I'll drop zones, and we'll provision this VM scale set, and we'll just see, we'll see what happens here. Now, my VMs are still in the availability set, okay? So I'm not changing that right now. I'm literally just asking Terraform, hey, go create this VM scale set for me. And let's create a placeholder for that. So we are going to go do that. We're not using zone balance, regular priority, platform fault domain count. Let's see if we can get this thing out there. And we ran into our first little snag. I cannot set the platform fault domain count to 5. I have to set it to 1, 2, or 3. So let's try that again. That was fast. Okay. We have a VM scale set, everyone. Let's go check out the resource group, see if we can see that thing. There it is. VMSS, virtual machine scale set. Of course, nothing's in it. And it provisioned super fast because if you think about it, it's just a logical container, right? There's really not a lot going on there. It's just a configuration for, the Azure platform so that we can tell it how we want things provisioned. Now, in this case, I'm going to, just for giggles, I actually want to see this error because I'm pretty sure like I cannot use an availability set and a VM scale set. That would be kind of counterproductive. But I want to simulate what this error is going to be like. So I'm gonna set the virtual machine scale set ID, and I'm gonna set the availability set ID. Now let's go look at the module, just make sure. Yeah, virtual machine scale set ID. Okay, lots of underscores. Yeah. So let's run that and let's see what happens. I'm expecting that there's going to be a big old clang happening here. Yes. So let's see here. Is this what I expected? Availability set ID conflicts with virtual machine scale set ID. This is an important thing. So it's important to recognize that virtual machine scale sets are kind of mutually exclusive with availability sets. Even though the Flex VM scale set, you can kind of attach VMs like you would an availability set. You can't use them together. So I'm just going to comment this out and we're going to roll from there. Ooh, and I'm going to move that up so that we get some little bit nicer scrimmage line. Now, moving these VMs from the availability set to the virtual machine scale set is going to cause a replacement. So we've got quite a lot to replace here. 9 to add, 9 to destroy. So we're drop creating all 3 of our VMs.
A few moments later.
And there we go. We drop created 3 VMs, and let's go check it out. We still have our availability set, but it's empty. Like we can go look at that. Nothing. But now our VM scale set is all lit up. Like we got a bunch of stuff going on in here. Yeah, so there we go. So here we got 01, 01 and 2, bada bing, bada boom, bada beep. And all of these VMs are distributed across the fault domains, right? So if I go in to this one here, let's just connect to it via Bastion. There we go. So this one's in fault domain 0. Let's go check the other one. And this one happens to be in fault domain 2. So as you can see, the fault domains are system assigned. So just because the index of the virtual machine happens to be 1, doesn't mean the fault domain is going to exactly be 1. If you want to be sure, because, I don't know, you're setting up a cluster and it matters, and you want it to be deterministic, like what the fault domain it's going to be in, set it explicitly. Don't rely on the platform to dictate that for you. So, and then you'll know exactly what you're getting every single time. So, word for the wise. If it really matters to you what fault domain they're going into, that's what you're just going to have to do. So there we go. So we converted 3 instances. We didn't convert them. I mean, we drop created them. But we had a project that had 3 VMs in an availability set. And we moved them over to an orchestrated or a Flex VM scale set. So hope you guys are enjoying this content. If you do, smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Really helps out a lot. Up next, I'm going to be converting this away from the VM scale set attach detach mode. We're going to be dropping the manually provisioned VMs and letting the VM scale set provision them for us using virtual machine profiles. So we got that ahead of us in the next couple of episodes. So until next time, this is the Azure Terraformer signing off. it.